Hey guys, what's up? Justine here. I'm once again gonna keep this intro super short, just like I did in my last video from this series. If you guys don't know me, my name is Justine. I'm a nurse. I've been working on the medical unit for 3 years now, and I decided to start this new series on my channel, which is gonna be comprised of 4 videos for now, of educational skills. So I'm basically teaching you guys a couple skills. So far I've done how to prime IV tubing, we've done bloods, and today we're doing IVs, which I think is the one that like everyone cringes and like everyone is most scared to do is IVs, but you guys will see it's super simple. I had a couple hiccups while I was doing this, not because I don't know what I'm doing, but just because you guys will see what I'm talking about. But I also wanted to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video once again. I know it seems like they're sponsoring a lot of videos, but I just thought that the videos that they sponsor will be a perfect fit for these like educational videos, because if you guys don't know what Skillshare is, it's basically an online learning community. You guys have probably heard me talk about it before. You probably know it if you're hearing me talk about it, but you guys have to check it out. It's amazing. They have a bunch of like videos. They have all different subjects that you could be interested in, thousands and thousands of videos, creators. It's people like you and me doing the teaching, and it's people that really know what they're talking about, which is super awesome. And I believe it's about $10 a month, but if you guys do want to check it out, check the link down below, and you can get 2 months free, just so you can try it out, see if you like it. You can cancel at any time, no obligation. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, it's awesome because you can have it like online on your laptop. They also have an app, and you can like save classes whenever you watch a class, or like recommend other classes in that like similar area. I don't know what I'm talking about. I have too much caffeine today. Yeah, just check out Skillshare. It's amazing. No obligation, like I said. Cancel anytime, but it is truly worth it. Okay, now that I'm done all my rambling, let's get started with the video. Alright, so for your equipment, you're going to need your IV catheter, and this one is a 22 gauge. Then you're going to need your IV tubing, which you're going to connect to your IV catheter. Then you'll need a 3cc syringe of normal saline. You will need a tegaderm. I actually like to have 2 usually, but I only had 1 today. An alcohol swab or a chlorhexidine swab, a tourniquet, and a 2x2 and a band-aid or tape. So once again, I like to always start by prepping my instruments or my whatever I need before putting on the tourniquet, just to reduce the time that the tourniquet is going to be on my patient. So to do this, I'm just opening my IV tubing, and the inside I believe is sterile, correct me if I'm wrong, but I just like to prime my tubing. So always prime your tubing before use it on your patient, because it is full of air. So you always want to prime it. I think it's about like half a cc. And then you'll see that little bubble of NS on the top. And then the inside of the packaging, I believe, once again, I should double check, but I believe it's sterile. So I just leave the opening in there. You can always cap it if you feel more comfortable doing that. Then I open my tegaderm and my band-aid. Last but not least, my IV catheter. And for IV catheters, you have different sizes. The smallest is a 22, which is this blue one. Then you have the 20 gauge, which is pink, 18, which is green, I believe, and 16, which is black. Then I'm using some non-sterile gloves. This is not a sterile technique, so you do not need sterile gloves. Then you're going to go ahead and put your tourniquet on your patient. Thank you, Mom, for being such a good sport. I had some amazing guinea pigs with me this weekend. So she had a very good antecubital vein, so I'm just going to clean it with this alcohol solution for about 10 to 15 seconds. Feel free to palpate your vein once again if you need to, just make sure you clean it afterwards. So I'm going to take off the cap off my IV catheter, and I like to lift just to make sure, see, like I'm doing there, just to make sure that it is loose whenever I am going to be inserting it into my patient. So always keep your skin taut, keep your needle at a 10 to 15 degree angle, and you want the bevel of your needle to be facing up. You will see immediately if you have blood return. Push your catheter in, pull back on the needle to make sure you have blood return, and there you go. Now, one thing you should do is always remove your tourniquet at this point, which I did not do. And another thing you should always do is make sure your tubing is connected properly to your needle so you don't get a big spill like I just did here. I think it was just the nerves of doing this on a family member. I was off my game. Anyways, make sure it's connected properly. It's not a big deal. You just can just clean it up. And also the fact that I did not remove the tourniquet meant that blood was backflowing into my syringe, which is why the tubing is full of blood. So had I taken off my tourniquet, plus my mom has really good veins, so the blood just like went ahead and did its own thing. And I didn't have another NS syringe. I only had one, so I couldn't flush the tubing properly. But had I had another syringe, the tubing would have cleared and it would have just been NS and no blood. So now I'm taking off my tourniquet, which is a bit late, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to take my tegaderm. Now I like to have two. I like to put one like in that position right there over my needle, and then have another one to fold my tubing. That way it doesn't get in the patient's way. Now I didn't have to. I only had one, so I moved my little lock down so that I could arrange it in a way that my like not the needle, the catheter was covered, as well as the tubing, just because it's less bothersome for the patient. It's not like moving around and in their way. So preferably have two tegaderms. I did not have, so I just have one. And then always make sure you write the date. I didn't do this for the purpose of this video, but you should always write the date so that your colleagues can know when to change the IV. So there you have it, a nice antecubital IV with minimal complications. Alright guys, so now I'm going to show you how to remove an IV, because might as well, right? So obviously this one was super fresh, so it wasn't stuck on the skin at all. But if you have a patient that, like, you know, it's been there for a while, they have hairy skin, just pull on your tegaderm like I'm doing now, and it'll loosen and it should hurt a lot less. So keep removing the tegaderm all around the catheter until you have just the catheter, like nothing stuck. Fold your 2x2 in 4 and pop it on the insertion site, and then just pull back. And then you are going to want to deposit this into the sharps box, which obviously I didn't have, so I just like wrapped it in the paper towel and put it in the trash. Next, you're going to put your band-aid or your tape. And last but not least, as you will see here, you're going to ask your patient once again to just keep pressure for about a minute to prevent any bleeding.